Hello and welcome to a third week of Seahawk Talk. I'm Ed Habashar. Glad you're joining us here in our studio in Warwick, Rhode Island. I'll be going to guests from Virginia throughout the state, sometimes out of state. And this week, we have our regular 20 segments, 4 segments a day, 5 days a week. And in those 20 segments, we're going to have at least 12 Seahawks that have played sports at Salve this week alone. Some are alum, some are current athletes. We're going to go to our director of athletics right now. She's coming to us from Providence, Rhode Island. Please welcome Jody Mooradian. Jody, how are you?
Good. Hey, thanks for having me on again. I love this program.
Good to have you. Even though we had a break for Easter, and typically this is a day off academic-wise, and I believe it still is a day off academic-wise for the students at Salve Regina. We're busy.
We're very busy. We started off with a nice call with all our staff, and that's always good to start the week to see everybody's face.
Now, this is also the start of D3 week at the national level, the National Division III week. Talk about your experience in that and what D3 week means to you as an athletic director.
Well, I think that the NCAA and Salve, we're trying to do the things we would have done, even though we're doing them virtually. So this week, it's a national Division III week to celebrate all the things that are special and unique about Division III and use it as a platform to celebrate our own athletes and to make sure that we really are celebrating what's important to Division III. So we had a full week of events. Over that won't happen, but Division III celebrates all the things. Academics, which we excel at the overall team average is over 3.0, and certainly athletics. We would have had events at our athletics contest this week to celebrate those. And then obviously the community. And probably the hardest part this year of Division III week is that we won't be able to do our Sunday event with Special Olympics. So that is actually a partnership not only with Salve, but with all of Division III.
National Division III.
Unfortunately, that won't happen. But our student athletes are still being creative, and they're still going to have some programming and some presentations that we can see.
Right now, we're going to show what our SAC has been up to. Our e-board, they're in various locations throughout the country, some as far as 3,500 miles away. Yeah. Some already staying in Newport. They put together a nice video and want to thank Matt Finlayson and Joe Gigliuzza of our media production department at the university for putting this piece together. Let's show it now.
Hello, Salve community. Hannah Smith from the women's lacrosse team here.
Hey everyone, Ulysses Lawler from men's ice hockey.
This is Megan Ryder from the women's lacrosse team. I hope you're all home, staying safe and healthy.
Hey all you cool cats and kittens. This is Paul Batusov of men's ice hockey here. I hope that everybody's staying safe and healthy and hopefully enjoying some quality time with their families.
I'm still in Newport, but it's definitely not the same without all of you guys. I can't wait for everyone to be back in the fall.
To my fellow seniors out there, hang in there. If we stick together and stay positive, we will get through this.
I cannot wait to see everybody back here in fall 2020, so everyone stay safe.
SalveAthletics and SAC have partnered with Winner Winner Newport to help feed local families. Follow the link attached to this video to purchase a bucket of love. Each bucket of love will provide a family full with a quality meal during these difficult times. If you can, please donate to a great cause helping families in need within our community.
So we got to hear from Ulysses Lawler right at the end of that with his pitch for winner, winner, chicken dinner.
So that was something that the SAC board, which is the Student Athlete Advisory Committee, they wanted to continue to give back and to recognize the role they play in helping others. So they made this video, and I can't say enough about it because it really does show their heart, and
Exactly.
that's
It's
what
right
we
from the
love
heart.
about our student athletes. They care as much about others, definitely, as they do themselves. And if you've ever been on a call with these 10 student athletes who are all from their own homes and in their pajamas, and the one thing that they mentioned, the one thing that really came through that they wanted to do was keep being able to help others. And to me, that says everything. So it wasn't a lot of complaining about senior year ending early or anything like that. It was really, what can we keep doing to help others? So I love the video, and I love that they want to have people give to help families that are in need. And thank you for the restaurant for joining with us in this time. That's terrific too.
Love the name of it too.
Chicken dinner.
Winner chicken dinner. I mean, you can't beat that name.
No.
And they are
Can't forget it.
I know. They are in Newport, I believe, and I got the latest edition of Report from Newport right here. It's,
yes.
Filled with a lot of fun stuff. I was going to just show a few pages from it. One of the features that I really loved on it was that stories matter, and we've all become storytellers now in this age of being separated. We come together through stories. One of the stories in here is on Casey Kelly of our men's soccer team. Show that on the screen here. And then also back in the saddle with Shane Bowes, the first men's participant on our equestrian roster.
Yeah.
So, a lot of good stuff in Report from Newport. I know that goes out to our alumni, and they are enjoying reading this now because we all have a lot of time to read now, right?
Yeah, we're going back to reading. I would say that just even having all of that shows how important Salve is to Newport and how much we are Newport, and seeing our student athletes highlighted there was great. For example, so Shane is on the equestrian team, and his goal is to be in the law enforcement area, actually, as with a horse.
Riding a horse, exactly.
He wants to be part of the mounted police. So you think about how complete the cycle is, that he's doing really well on the equestrian team, but yet it also is going to help him further his goals in life. And he actually was interning last summer with a police force, so mounted police. So it's really, really, really special.
So good practice for his current work and also for his future work.
Yeah, and good for Salve because he's a really great member of our team.
Absolutely, great guy. And they had a home show back on March 7th, just before everything shut down, and they finished in first while they were hosting it.
Yeah, you would think that it was going to be one of the best seasons ever, but at least it ended on that very high note. I know they had all qualified for regionals, and as with all our teams, we had many, many big hopes, but each little story is still very special. And I know for him, he really is everything we want. I mean, he got to work on his career goals while accomplishing his athletic goals. So it was a nice story, and I'm glad to see it.
Jody, earlier you mentioned part of D3 Week is that national support for Special Olympics. How unfortunate it has been for the last 3 years, weather related the previous 2, and now with this pandemic, that Salve and Special Olympics just hasn't gotten together in the last 3 years.
Yeah, and it's such a nice partnership, and I know we've had the ability to invite some members to some of our events, and they still get a little bit of time with our student athletes. But that event, when we were out at Gaudet, and there were representatives from every team, hundreds of student athletes and hundreds of Olympians, and it was a great partnership. And then the weather just has come in, and now obviously bigger issues. But yeah, I hope it will finally find some way to get going again, even if we have to wait a year.
We're going to dissolve right now into a clip from Special Olympics produced by NCAA D3 Week, and that'll showcase how important this support is.
I used to never really talk. Ever. I was afraid if I said something wrong, everyone would laugh at me. But then I started to play golf with Special Olympics. It helped me to find my voice. And now everyone else is speechless.
Olympics.
It's Speechless. That's the name of the promo for Special Olympics in D3 week. It's been at least 3 years now since the pandemic and 2 weather-related pauses in hosting it. But 2021, here we come.
Yeah,
and maybe in the fall, too.
Yeah.
There's discussions about having multiple events during the course of the year, and SAC will certainly be involved in that.
Yeah. And I think it's just so important to us that if the fall works, we'll do it. We'd do it, fall and spring if it made sure that we got at least one in.
Jody, let's finish your segment with talking about your involvement with the conference athletic directors, the Commonwealth Coast Conference, and our commissioner, Greg Kay, and Associate Commissioner, Doug Chin. What's happening in their world?
Well, the one thing you learn in times like this is who to lean on. So we've been able to talk often with the conference and our other conference athletic directors, and I know coaches have done that as well. But certainly the world of athletics has come together because we're all in the same boat. We're all facing all sorts of challenges, and so we're trying to keep each other strong, get the best ideas, see how we can be proactive about moving forward. I know you and I have talked about things like still we need to give, or we want to recognize and give awards that we would have given. And I know the conference is doing that as well, recognizing the senior athletes from the spring. Absolutely. So it's great in the world of athletics because you're closely connected with all your colleagues and everybody. At this time, we're not competing. Now we're trying to see how we together can make things better and make us move forward in the right direction. So in every cloud, there's a silver lining, and being part of the conference has been great. It's a group to rely on, to talk to, and I really appreciate being part of the CCC.
Same here, and appreciate you being part of this segment each Monday at 3 o'clock. Look forward to joining with you next week at the same time, and also during the week with our weekly meetings.
Yes, at least once a week.
All right. Thanks, Jody.
Thank you. Take care.
That's Jody Mooradian, Director of Athletics at SalveAthletics University. I'm Ed Havishar. We'll be back with Bill Villarreal right after this short break.
It's on us. It's on all of us. And it's time to act now.
It's on us to start the change. It's on us to be the change. It's on us. It's on Division 3. It's on all of us to stop sexual assault.
Hello and welcome back to Seahawk Talk on Monday, April 13th, the day after Easter. Hope you enjoyed a happy Easter. My name is Ed Havishar, and if you're not early, you're late. Those are the words of a very successful baseball coach. He's early because we unfortunately could not connect with Bill Villarreal, our women's lacrosse head coach, due to network issues on the island in Portsmouth. So we're going to head to Newport and see what's going on with our friend and coach, Eric Cirella. Coach Cirella, how are you?
I'm great. I'm here in my office. It's nice and quiet. Getting some work done on this rainy Monday.
What work brought you in today?
Well, I was afraid of some network issues like Bill, being at home because we had a staff meeting, but also admissions needed me to put together a video for their, I guess, Connections Day.
Connections, yeah.
And, an open house, perhaps. Just kind of talking about the spring sport aspect and how it all works, with recruiting and the season and, everything. So Pam told me 3 minutes, and I think at last look, it was about 7.5 minutes.
All
She
right.
might have to edit that one, yeah.
There's no issue with plenty of content to work with. It's when you come up shy of 3 minutes, then we have to stretch it out, and you end up sounding a little bit more southern because you end up talking just a little bit slower.
I was really worried I wasn't going to be able to fill 3 minutes, and then when I looked up and I saw 6 minutes and I still had a couple of bullet points left, I breezed through the last two things. So hopefully it works.
So any recommendations to the person that's going to edit this? Like, hey, you got to keep this. You got to keep that. You can't cut this.
I'm going to be honest. It was a one-take ordeal. So I kind of black out sometimes and just go. I couldn't tell you what the good stuff and the bad stuff were, but I'll leave that up to the professionals.
Well, I'm proud of you for the one take. That's a pat on the back right there.
From all the preseason interviews.
I know.
I'm usually, if I don't know the answer, I can fake something.
Well, it's always a one take with you. It's me with my intros that I have to redo. Who am I talking to right now? Oh yeah.
Well, you just fumble over a word or two. There's some tough ones. SalveAthletics, Seahawks, head baseball. It happens. My part's a lot easier.
Well, as long as I don't call you Steve, right?
Which I do get sometimes.
Of course.
Occasionally a coach will say that. I say, no, that's my dad.
Yep. Very successful head coach as well at SalveAthletics.
He is. I tell him to tune in, but I think he'd have a hard time figuring out how to click the YouTube link. And he just learned how to send a picture and a text message the other day.
That's an accomplishment.
Yes.
Well,
64 years old. God bless him.
Oh, now you just cost yourself a Christmas gift. Well, Eric, tell us how recruiting has changed. The content that you produce for admissions today is certainly going to be a lot different than what you would have several weeks ago.
Sure. Well, I mean, in this time of year, we should be playing Amherst right now. But normally on an off day, we'd make time to see a high school game and, either see the guys who we have coming in just to kind of give us an idea of, all right, this kid's ready. Maybe we don't have to recruit heavy in that position. But we can't see any games and we can't do any evaluations and we can't have anyone on campus and do any tours. So really, we're blessed in the sense that my assistant, Andrew, and myself, I think we did a really good job last summer of seeing a lot of kids. So we have a pretty good database of 2021s. And I think this will be an interesting year because there's going to be a lot of kids who don't get to be seen. And some of these kids could play at the Division I level or Division II level. So I think any D3 team that went above and beyond in their preparation last year and didn't just, cross off 2021s or 22s to, we'll figure that out next year. I think there's a chance to steal some kids away from, some schools that maybe didn't do their homework or didn't do as good or a thorough as job, recruiting.
You mentioned steals. You were very good at that occupation during your playing days, and you continue it as a coach to promote that on the base pass. But talk about now about flattening the curve. I just love throwing these baseball cards. Yeah.
You want me to talk about flattening the curve?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Well, I'm trying to do my part here, as we can only be in the office if we walk in with one of these face masks. I feel like as a society, we're generally doing a fairly good job. It's super important if we ever want to get back to work and get back to watching, sports on TV, professional sports, college sports. And to be honest, I haven't done a whole heck of a lot except play golf. So my golf game right now, which I'd love to talk about, I hope Matt Finlayson's
Go ahead. I'll give you some time.
Because I am really striking the ball well. And, usually he gets to play a couple more times than I do, because he's not recruiting and he's not, working as much as I am maybe in the summertime.
And he's teaching a golf class.
He's teaching a golf class. So he's getting a lot of swings. But right now we're playing the same amount of golf. And all of a sudden, somebody's won 3 or 4 in a row. That's somebody who is, sharing content right now. But, Matt is a very good golfer as well. And we're similar in age. We've competed against each other and with each other for a great number of years, lived together. So it's a fun rivalry. Yeah. He helps me, I help him. But, if you ask him, right now I am playing my best golf. And that's exciting because, I've cut back on drinking. I've been taking about 16,000 steps a day to the point where my legs hurt. So I'm, just trying to come out of this thing a little bit better than how I went in.
Did this progress in your golf game start with our staff Christmas party at Newport Indoor Golf back in December?
It did. I think that gave me a little bit of confidence coming off surgery. That probably was about 5-6 weeks after surgery, where I could swing lightly. And, to be honest, if you're swinging a golf club the right way and you're using your core and you're using your legs, it doesn't put a whole heck of a lot of stress on your shoulder. But that golf outing as a staff party certainly gave me the confidence that I could progress a little bit faster than maybe my surgeon would recommend.
It inspired you and me too, because we were not just playing indoors, we were at some of the best courses in the world with virtual
was phenomenal.
golf.
It's made me look into actually buying a golf simulator, maybe with my
stimulus
IRS
package.
check. Yeah, that stimulus check that's coming in. I got to check my bank account, but who knows? Maybe I'll treat myself to something nice.
Or it's funny because I would always come into a bay at Newport Indoor Golf shortly after you were set the mark and give me something to shoot for. And obviously I never came close, but it was a worthy target. Much better than you coming in after me and just destroying what I had put up.
I think I had about 8 different aliases on there. So,
yes, you did.
Don't be too hard on yourself. If at first you don't succeed, change your username and, plop another one in there and try it. And I think that was why I had so much success that day.
I think my best username was not Ed Habershaw, but Ben Crenshaw. So I tried to keep it close to the family name, but you had better luck with whatever name you were using.
Well, I did it enough. I had enough tries.
And we do appreciate Matt Finlayson for organizing that event for our entire staff.
I thought it was one of the best, Christmas outings, and hopefully maybe it caught some people by surprise, or holidays has a tendency to sneak up on you.
They really do.
With all the things that you have going on, but I think word of mouth should be that you better come next year, because it was a heck of a lot of fun. And even for people that don't enjoy golf, you can putt around. There's stuff to do. I just thought it was a lot better, organized. And bring your clubs, take a couple swings.
Enjoy some food.
Enjoy some good food. Have a drink. Hang out.
Well, it's
and I
great.
didn't walk away with my own gift this year, which was nice. In the Christmas swap, what happened there?
Typically, you do bring one of those gag gifts.
Yeah.
So it is great when it comes back to you.
I'm a regifter. I am a habitual regifter, and something is sitting in my house that I want to get rid of, and I know it's right in that $20 to $25 range. And I just hope that when the day is over, I'm not walking away with what I brought, because that has also happened before.
On Seahawk Talk, when we ended the first week with the final segment in Corey Hughes, I talked about the group of 20 coaches that appeared on here and Jody Mooradian and how competitive you as coaches are. Not just you are, but coaches in general are competitive. Sure. And you gotta be. Why not? If you're not competitive, you're probably not coaching. But with that being said, 2 years ago in our Christmas party at, was it
KJ's?
Harry's?
KJ's.
No, it was on Bellevue Avenue.
Yeah.
Is that called Harry's?
It's not called Harry's, but I know what it's called. It's right across from Pasta Beach.
Yes. You either got the gift or somebody got the gift of that hoop on the head.
Lauren did.
Yes, and you and Janelle had a great competition.
We did. That was live streamed on Instagram, I believe.
Yeah. Snapchat, or as your dad would say, Snapface.
Snapface, or, Facebook. And I believe I was victorious, but it was very close, and it was probably some sort of an overtime format. But
yeah. Andrew Pizzelli could have been there doing play-by-play, because it was a great competition. It came down to the last shot.
Everybody cleared out, and we just kind of kept the party going. So, no, I enjoy the staff Christmas parties, and I'm proud to say I've been to the last at least 5 or 6 that I can remember. I can't remember missing one. Well, you got to get something for free.
I know.
When you work it. Salve long enough.
Well, thank you for joining this party and for contributing to the Admissions Connections Day party. That's going to be a great event. Obviously, it'll be virtual for those invited to partake in it. But your contribution and Rob McGinnis's contribution, just spectacular. And I really appreciate it. I know Pam Maru and Colleen Emerson and Jim Fowler appreciate the efforts and the time that you take to not only do your regular recruiting, but also this is going to help overall all of our 20 varsity sports and club sports and intramurals. Everything's going to get attention during this event.
Well, I appreciate it. And, like I always say, the better everybody else does, the easier it is for me to recruit. So I'm just trying to do my part. But thanks for having me, and look forward to seeing you again next Monday.
Sounds good. Thank you, Eric.
All right, take care.
That's Eric Cirella, our head baseball coach, coming to us from his office at the Rogers Recreation Center in Newport, Rhode Island. Stick with us. We'll be right back with another Salve alum from the softball team. Her name is Holly Kathios. See you then.
This better not end up in a 99 second.
You're all like this. Come back. Like that. Take them off the front, they're all like this. she's gonna kill me for showing that. That was just 1 year ago during spring break in Orlando. Holly Kathios. I can't say she gave me permission because she did say, don't use this on 99 seconds. She didn't say don't use it on Seahawk Talk. She never envisioned Seahawk Talk. But she is going to be our next guest on Seahawk Talk. Please welcome Holly Kathios.
Hi, Ed. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on. Good to have you. And you are coming to us from New Hampshire, where the weather is what?
It's rainy, terrible, windy. Not the best.
Our previous guest, I meant to have this topic discussed with them because the day after Easter is the perfect day for spring sports. Salve Regina observes Easter, and we have no home games on Holy Saturday, the day before Easter. So we miss a weekend of good competition, but typically the day after Easter is when we schedule either a non-conference game or we reschedule a conference game that we couldn't get on Holy Saturday. So that would have been perfect to play, but just not today with today's weather. So either way, we were not going to get a game in on April 13. Mother Nature and or coronavirus took care of that.
Yeah.
Well, Holly, you've made the transition very successfully from outstanding player to outstanding assistant coach. Talk about that and what that's been like for you this past year.
So I think the biggest thing about Salve softball is the idea of like family. So coming as a player to an assistant coach, I think a lot of my teammates, my former teammates, knew how much this really meant to me and how I wanted it to be more of a career choice than just something I did on the side. So they were really supportive and understanding that this was a new venture for me. I'm going to have new boundaries. And they were very supportive, and they understood, no longer a teammate, but, someone I can look to for guidance. And it was very seamless because of them. I don't want to take any of the credit because they helped me a lot with that.
But it still takes a special attitude and maturity to understand that. And you really have a passion for coaching.
Yeah, I love it. I think, it started out taking on that catching role. And then I started, working with, when I first started catching at Salve, we had 4 freshman pitchers. So I think working with them, it kind of took on kind of a mentorship role. And, that's when I really started being like, oh, I really kind of like this. And I really want to, see how this goes. So I think that was really when I started like looking further down the line and, really wanted to pursue it more.
Andrew Pizzelli put together a nice package of 4 images, you at the plate or on the base pass, and then you catching, and also you having a conversation with Coach Iaquinto. How are you similar and how are you different from Coach Iaquinto?
We have a very special relationship. I think it, again, started way back when I was catching. I think she was a pitcher, so, pitcher-catcher relationships, really important. And, when I came to Salve, it was like my first time ever catching. So I'd never really gotten into, pitch calling or anything like that. So she really took me under her wing and taught me the ropes of pitch calling and, seeing the field from that perspective. And then halfway through my catching career at Salve, she kind of just gave me the reins with pitch calling. And we would do kind of the scouting reports together. So I think that's where our relationship really, developed, and we gained a lot of trust for each other, and we were able to have conversations and, this is working, this isn't working, but like still on a respectful, not on like a, not coming at each other like angry or anything like that. And that's really what's helped make this transition from, I think, player to coach really much easier than it could have been. I know that, if I was like someone who didn't come in from this as a Salve alum, that's not some type of relationship I would have with her or the players or things like that. So it's something I'm really appreciative of.
Well, I'm really appreciative of you coming on earlier than scheduled and for you having a good internet signal up in New Hampshire. Holly, you came in as a middle infielder, actually a corner infielder as well. You were willing to play anywhere, and you saw the opportunity at catcher. Talk about first of all, you wanted to play, but talk about, hey, this is where I can play. I can help out. Catching is not easy.
So when I got to Salve, so I transferred in my sophomore year, and it was kind of an unconventional transfer. So I transferred in January of the season. So they were just about halfway through their season, but Coach Iaquinto had just gotten there in November. So technically I was kind of her like first recruit. So it was kind of interesting, and I was so appreciative of her taking me on and the team taking me on that I just wanted to help in any way I could. And this is how I kind of approached my playing career is, if I were the coach, what would I need or what would I do? And I saw Frankie Galizzi, who was a year older than me, just absolutely having a stellar year, and she ended up being player of the year. So, if I'm coaching that team, like there's no doubt in my mind that Frankie Galizzi is out there playing. So I'm thinking, okay, where can I help this team? Where do they need help? And in that spot, they really needed help in the bullpen, catching. So, I took that and I was just like, I'm going to make this, I'm going to be the best. But if that's the thing I'm going to do this year, that's the one thing I'm going to be really good at. So what ended up happening is, I guess people were like, oh, I didn't know you catch. And they'd see me warming up in the bullpen. I'm like, I don't catch. Like, I
do now.
I want. And then, one day, Coach Iaquinto called me into her office, and she's like, hey, Hall. And I was like scared because I had just been on the team for like a couple months. And I was like, hi. And she's like, how would you feel about catching in a game? And I'm like, wait, really? I was like, I don't have any gear. So I went out and I was like, all right, well, let's see how this goes. And I actually threw out a runner or something like that. And it was like the best feeling ever. And I was like, you know what? And that year we had like a really special run, like winning the CCCs and winning the first round of, winning our first game in the regionals. So it was really special. And I think that, that atmosphere of family made me want to, take it even further. And I knew Emily Wozniak was having a lot of trouble with her knees, and, if I could help in any way possible. So I said, I remember texting Coach over the summer and being like, hey, if I can find someone to teach me or give me some pointers for catching, what do you like? Do you think that's a good idea? And she's like, yeah, if you want to, sure. And I just kind of, took it and ran with it. And now we're here.
And in addition to committing to that position, you invested in the position. You got your own gear.
Yeah. That was my birthday gift one year for my parents.
So you don't just handle the pitching staff, you handle those first pitches, those ceremonial first pitches. I was one of them one time. We're showing Mike Pagliarini on the screen tossing out a first pitch. You have to make a lot of movement behind the plate there.
Yeah, well, I always joke that's like, oh, it's my job to make them look good. So don't worry about it. Just throw it in my just general vicinity and I'll do my best.
Yes, and if you have to go to the backstop, you'll go to the backstop.
Yeah, I'll go fast.
You also were an extra base machine last year, not behind the plate, but in the batter's box. Talk about your approach to hitting.
Yeah, so my junior year was when I really broke out into the lineup, and the first half of the season I was batting like around 300, and then I got an injury. So what happened? I got hit in the head, and that second half of the season, coming back from that injury, I struggled a lot. Hitting wise, I think it was more of a mental thing, and then trying to prove that I was okay from the injury, and there's a lot of things going on. So going into my senior year, last season, I really took it and was like, whatever happens this year, I just want it to be, I gave it 100%, and I did everything I could to, get a good season. I want to be at peace with, my career ending. So I saw my hitting coach, Elena Bowman, a lot. She was actually, the funny thing about that is she's Manhattan alum, and she played against Coach Iaquinto when she coached at Marist. So Coach Iaquinto knew about Elena Bowman for a while. She's like, oh gosh, you're going to hit with Elena Bowman. We're going to be in trouble. Because she was like such a powerhouse hitter. So she taught me a lot. The kind of the foundation of, if you're going to do something, do it 100%. Looking for, being aggressive in the box, looking for a certain type of pitch. That's like the mental game of thinking. And I also think too, learning from Coach Iaquinto about pitch calling really helped me hitting wise, because I was able to kind of have an idea of what the pitcher would be throwing in the type of situation, and where I wanted to put the ball to. So if like I had like a runner on second base, I wanted to go opposite field. I wanted to go to right center, which is, you know, just trying to be situationally hit well. And I just tried to have a lot of fun too. I tried not to put too much pressure on myself.
And Holly, because of your versatility, you're able to bring a lot as an assistant coach to the various positions as well as to social media.
Yeah, you know, it's kind of funny. Like when me and Coach Iaquinto first talked about, you know, being an assistant coach, that social media wasn't something that was like one of the first things that was brought up. But she one day was like, "Oh, I don't know what to post on Instagram," and I was like, "Oh, I'll do it, like just for fun. Like this will be fun." And she's like, "Oh my gosh, you're like good at this," and I was like, "You know what? I'm gonna go. If I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it 100%." So I just tried to do stuff, and I think seeing this now as from a coaching perspective, I see Salve as such a special place, and you know, we're big on family, and when we have recruits on campus, we always like to tell them like, "Oh, what makes Salve different? You know, we're like a community and all this stuff," and that sounds so cliche. So I'm trying to make it like, no, just go see our social media page. Like you'll see like easy, like the first 5-6 posts, you'll see, you know, what we're all about. And those aren't words. Those are, you know, that's what we live by here at Salve.
Yeah, we subscribe to this website called boxoutsports.com,
yes.
And they give us templates, but you customize the templates to make it personal, to make it unique, to make it Salve softball. So tremendous job there, taking that over. No, thank you. And one other thing I think our listeners would be interested in is you came in as an infielder. You've got experience at the hot corner. We're going to show a clip right now at the AAA level for Holly Kathios. Check this out. And we can talk as this is showing. Christian Vasquez with a line drive! Caught by ball person Holly Kathios. Holly, you made an instinctive grab. You were ready as ever. What goes through your mind? Like, you're an infielder, and you're saying, I want the ball hit to me. I want the ball hit to me. I want the ball hit to me. And you immediately catch it, and you hand it off to a fan. Did that fan pester you throughout the game, say, hey, if you get a ball, send it to me, send it to me?
They tend to do that. You know, what's funny is a lot of times, you know, I don't know if, like, people don't realize that, you know, in order to have that job, you have to have some type of, you know, college or high-level experience, just, yes, you know, so the Pawtucket Red Sox can protect themselves so you don't get injured. So sometimes I get a little bit of, you know, jokes here and there, like, oh, you're good, can you catch it? And I'm like, yeah, you know, I'm good, like, I'll be fine. And after catching some of those, the guys would be like, whoa, like, okay, like, so that's kind of funny. And then I remember, like, I was driving home and my boss had called me and she's like, Holly, you're like on MLB, the minor league baseball website making that catch. And I was like, I am? So it was kind of cool. I love that job. They're very supportive. Jackie Dempsey, Dr. Charles working there, and Ed, I met Ed working there too.
Yeah, I had a job as an usher, so I learned some skills in myself, both first base and third base side, and outfield.
Yeah, so I know it's a great job. It's a great environment. I mean, where else can you go and, you know, besides coaching, get paid to watch baseball, really?
I know. But the conditions that you're in, besides the heckling that you get from fans, I want a foul ball, please. But there's also the hot sun.
Yeah. We get, a lot of times they'll give us like free waters and stuff like that, so it's not too bad. And then the catered meals are pretty nice too in between games. So.
And the ushers are just okay.
Oh no, the ushers are great. They give us the waters.
Yes, when they remember.
Yeah.
Well, let's finish our segment going back to last year, and we're gonna re-show your surfing without sound. So you're going to do the play-by-play right now. What was going through your mind as you took this adventure with fellow captain Amanda Riley?
Well, basically, I said to Amanda, I said, this is our last day in Florida. Let's go out with a bang. So she's like, okay, Halls. So we hopped on we were watching these little kids do it, and they looked like they were doing it so effortlessly. So I was like, we can do this. So we signed all these waivers, and
lots of waivers.
We had a game later that day. So Coach Iaquinto was watching, and she's like, you better not fall. So we're like, oh, we're going to be fine. We're watching these little kids do it, and I'm holding on to this man, the lifeguard person for dear life. Like, don't let go of me. He's like, you need to let go. And like, as soon as he lets go, I'm like pummeled into the back by the waves.
But it was a soft landing, right?
Oh yeah. It was way worth it. Yeah.
Now, were you competing with Amanda to see who could be the best rider, or was it just friendly?
You know, it's kind of me and Amanda have like a friendly competition.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you know, she always like bails me out whenever I had a bad throw down to second base. So, I mean, gotta have a good relationship with your shortstop, right?
Absolutely. She's catching those. Nobody dared to run on you, so she didn't have to cover the bag because people stayed at first base if they even got there against your pitching staff.
Andy Nelson, yeah.
Hey, Holly, great segment with you. I appreciate your sense of humor and allowing me to show not once but twice your surfing adventure on Flow Rider in Florida. You've been wonderful as a guest, sharing what it's like transitioning from player to assistant coach. Exactly 1 year after being a player, you were a terrific player for the Seahawks, and you're going to continue to be a terrific assistant coach. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Ed. Thanks for doing this.
And best of luck in 2021 with the Seahawks.
Yep.
Take care, Holly.
Bye.
That's Holly Kathios from Pelham, New Hampshire. I'm Ed Habashore. Thanks for joining us on Seahawk Talk on Monday, April 13. We'll be back tomorrow with another 4 guests. See you then.